channel. Today I'm going to show you some counter trays that I made for this game right here. Combat Commander 20th Anniversary Edition by Chad Jensen, put out by GMT Games. This recently was released. This edition comes with the Mediterranean, the Europe, and also the minor nations in it. So a lot of counters and a lot of cards to put away in this one. But I was able to get it all in there. Took a little bit of, well, a lot of bit of work, and utilizing every bit of space available to me left in this box once the rules and the player aids were set down at the bottom, so, and the maps. So let's check it out. All right, so here's our box, and when we open it, you see that it's all nice and neatly packed in there. Now, I try to make all of my game design so that you can shake these boxes up, you can have them standing up, every bit of space is used, nothing moves around. Like you see other counter trays that allow the pieces, you know, to go in a pile and they move around. So when you shake them, as you're transporting them, you damage the counters. I try to make it so that the counters don't get damaged. They lock in very well into this. So the main thing is to take out this center section first. Now it's heavy because if you look here, card tray, let me get this facing correctly here, card tray number 1, and this has the card trays on the bottom and some counters on the top there. And the same thing with this tray right here, this red tray also has cards on the bottom. This is card tray number 2 there. And that has counters on the top also. And this tray here is actually a 3-stack tray. You can see that we have 3 and you have 6 trays here. And this has all of our counters for the playing pieces, basically your armies and stuff like that. These are the 5/8 inch counters, the larger counters. Take this one out last so you can grab the whole thing, because if you grab by the top, it will, you know, they will come apart, but if you do it that way, you should be good. And then at the top here, I had to utilize this space here. So I have counters also stacked up in here to be able to fit everything in. So these are also 3-stack, and I'll pull them off here, and that comes off like that. And then we have the next stack that comes out of here, like that. And the hardest one to get out is this one here. You do have some spots on there that you can grab onto, but it is, I'm not going to lie, it is a little bit difficult to, and it's kind of hard. I'm at an awkward angle here. But this one is our spacer down here for all of our rules. And you can see that I make it so that everything fits back in the box. So you have your Combat Commander rules here. I do alternate stuff so that when it fits in there, I don't have the binders all on one side. We have some maps here that go back in. All of your maps that come with this game fit back in here. And then you have your American Order of Battle player aids that are all right here. They all fit back in there. And of course, your rule book. All of that goes back into the box. Everything fits back into the box neatly. So let's take a look at these counter trays. And we'll start off with this particular counter tray here. Now this one, they all sit on top and they stack up like this down in that little gully, and this little lid right here, just make sure that these don't pop out at the top. Although if you don't make this, they probably won't, because your lid is just right here, so it's not that far up. But this is your 4th counter tray, and I think I have them all listed on the back, yeah, right there. And these are the ones that are the smaller. So this is that leftover 1/2 inch pieces, and I believe these are some of the minor nations here. Same way here, these are minor nations. So you can see that the minor nations here, and you have your alphabetically LIOB order of battle here. See all that? And again, this is tray 4A. There, let's see if I can get some good light on it so you can see it without spilling it. And then this is our tray, which is 4B. Tray is 4B. It's kind of hard to see in the black. There we go. There's a good light of it right there. Good light of it. And we'll flip this on over so you can see the front of it. Oops. I went too fast. Flew too close to the sun. All right, so this is tray 4B. And you can see that we have those groups in there. We'll get a little bit closer here for you to see. And they just slide right in at the top. And this is counter tray 4C on the back there. And you can see that we have, again, some of the minor nations and playing aid counters there in that one. So that's all those counters that fit in, and you can see that when they're at this direction, they tend to want to slide out pretty easy. And then, of course, the lid will go on top of it. Now, they all are designed to interlock. I mean, because this is so thin, it will topple over. So you just have to be careful with that one. And I'll just lay it back down right there. So the next one we'll look at tray number 1 here. And this is tray 1. And this has our Combat Commander cards here. Let me see. And you can see that, oops, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. So here's our Russian fate deck, our French fate deck, and our German fate deck. And you see I have them flipped upside down. They should all be like this in order. So your entire deck is in there, so the person just grabs out whatever deck they need. This is, you know, the actions that you have in the orders that you have available for each of these units here. And then the counter tray on top is divided up into 3 trays also. And we have a lot of the game playing trays here. So again, let's take a look over here. So just for reference, this is tray 1A, 1B, and 1C right there. So these are the counters that are in there. And all of these are the same counters underneath. I don't believe I had to double stack any of these, but they are all the same counters. And so those are trays A, B, and C. And again, these trays, they do lock into each other if you make them. Now, I always use supports for my overhangs, and this one locks in pretty good. So these overhangs here definitely need support. So you have these overhangs right here and here. You definitely want the support on those, and that helps to make so that they lock in a little tight. Now, you don't want them too tight, because they're too tight, they're hard to take apart, and you fling them and pieces go everywhere. So you don't want them too tight. All right, so and then the lid goes on, locks everything in, and this is tray number 1. So now let's take a look at tray number 2. So again, this is tray number 2, and this is A, B, and C there at the top. And we pull this off, and we have our initiative card is in the center one here. And then we have our British fate deck there, our Italian fate deck there, and our American fate deck there. So that's how these cards are lined up there, fit right underneath. And then again, this locks in on top, and these are, again, our playing pieces right here. So let's take a look at all these over here. And again, for reference, this is 2A, 2B, and 2C right there. And so these are the pieces that we have there. Now, you know, I got my mortars up here, so you're just going to divide them up however you want. Same way with the satchels right there. So these you can sort of group together. Some of them are not exactly the same underneath, but they're the same grouping of the type of weapon that they are. So these are all your weapons and everything right there. And these, of course, stack right on top here. And this lid goes right on top there. And that's our counter tray number 2. And this is counter tray number 3. And as you can see, 3A, 3B, C, D, E, and F. And again, these counters, this counter tray breaks out to 3 separate stacks of trays. So, you know, if you're playing a certain group, you can generally take the tray. Now, you notice that this group goes over into this tray right here. This group is all contained here, here. This army is all contained in, you know, 2 trays there when we break them apart. And the minor groups are, you know, there are a number of them there, such as here, and you can see. So, you know, but you can separate all of these trays, separate out just like this, and make it so that you can, you know, take the tray that you need for whatever side you're playing. So let's take a closer look as to what's all in these trays here. So we'll start out with the bottom tray. This is 3E and 3F tray right there. And you can see the units that fit into this tray. Now, I try to keep some of them the same. You know, I try to keep, like here we have engineers, elites. You know, I try to keep them the same. Some, at a certain point, some of them have just a few and they might get mixed things. I had to use every available bit of space, but here's what we have in these trays right here. So these are the units that are in tray 3E and 3F, right there. And here we have 3C and 3D right here. So it's 3C, 3D. And these are the units that are in this particular one. And I just hold them here for a second so that you can see them. You can always freeze this frame so that you know which units go where in the trays. And then here we have 3A and 3B here. And these are the units that are in these trays. And again, I try to keep, oh, look at that. We can't have that now, can we, John? No, no. There we go. So these are all the units that are in these 2 trays. And again, this is tray A and B here. We'll just give you one more view of that. So as you can see, these trays all interlock. They all have tabs to make them easier to pull out. But they interlock onto each other. And then the lid, and again, I had to make a different design on this lid here I wanted to try out. So I tried it out with this group, and it works pretty good. It locks everything in quite nicely. And so they all fit together pretty solid. So let's talk about putting these trays back into the box. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have all of these as far down as possible, so you have that little space that you're going to need for these guys right here. And I'm just going to put, now this one has, this is for the part that goes against the books here. And I made it so that you can slide that one in first, then put this one right on top of it, and then put this one right on top of that. Close up your lid, and now you can start putting these in here. So start with tray 3, and take that and slide that back into this corner here. Take your tray 1 and slide that back. Now, the nice thing about the card trays is that when you grab them by the cards right here, you'd be okay, you know, lift it up. Now it will separate a little bit, but it won't be no big deal. And then you're going to put that down, or you can put them down like this and put your other tray right on top. However you want to do that is perfectly fine. And of course the lid goes back down on it. And as you can see, everything fits back in the box. The box closes up all the way. You shake it, you can hear some movement, but nothing moves out of place. Everything stays in place. And it holds everything perfectly sound inside the box. So if you like these, they are available on a GMT website. You just go to Combat Commander 20th Anniversary Edition page, and you'll be able to see the STL files. You'll be able to print them for free. I will have a person on Etsy, and I'll leave a link below. I've teamed up with a guy, I think out of Toronto, Canada, and really nice, and he's going to be making some of these trays for those of you who don't have a printer. So there are ways to get these without, without having to go buy a printer. But, my opinion, you should get a printer. It's fantastic. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Please do like and subscribe to the channel, and come on back. We will have mini trays in the future and a lot more games coming out. Thanks for watching.